And this time I decided to talk about my favorite games of 2016. I don't know, that kind of sounds weird saying that. I should just make the list, or it should be said the top 10 games I played last year, rather than the top 10 games of last year, because I did not buy any games that were new in 2016. I mean, the reasons are because I either did not have the money, was not interested at the time, or did not have time to play them. I have so many games, that I haven't even played nor opened, like the Final Fantasy games. I have some PC games I haven't even played yet. PS4 games I haven't even opened yet or even played. And even some downloadable ones on the PS4. PS3 games I haven't played. PS2 games I haven't played. And I still have not played Chrono Trigger. I know, what am I waiting for? But I have that and I can't even play it. Well, I can play it, but that's just the amount of games I haven't played that I actually do own. So, me buying a new game just seems a little difficult. Back onto the subject of the game. I did do all of the previous things.
Good, but there's still plenty left to do. We'll meet at the briefing station when you want to get moving.
Yeah, I did all of the side stuff. Let me just show it off real quick. Yeah, I did that one. Oh, I did this one because I think I was at 4 out of 5. Obviously don't have Captain America on this one. Don't have Venom yet. I did Bullseye before. I'm trying to think. I think it was just Psylocke. Yeah, Psylocke. And I did... No, because I think I already did Jean on this one. Well, I think that's pretty much all I did then. And I also collected some other things. I think I caught everything on the last one. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. Yeah, but anyways, I did some of the stuff off screen. That's the most important. That way I can continue the level. And I also did the attitude stuff, so I maxed those things out as well. Might as well show that off. Yeah. 5 out of 5, 5 out of 5, 5 out of 5. Aggressive, defensive, diplomatic, yeah. Got them all. Might as well just get some of this little dainty experience here. So back to my top games of 2016. I did not buy any of them, for reasons as I already said. I just cannot get into, I guess, new games as much as the old ones. And I do have in the description like a basic premise of my criteria of the best games of 2016, or personally my favorite. And I do have in there like none of these games actually came out in the year 2016. I just have to reiterate that over and over and over again for those that want to watch it. And it seems kind of weird that I'm putting it in a walkthrough, but spice it up a little bit.
Despite our recent victories, the anti-registration movement continues to grow. S.H.I.E.L.D. is too busy dealing with opportunistic supervillains to help us. So we've decided to bolster our ranks with some allies you might find surprising. There are dozens of superpowered criminals now being held in Prison 42. Collectively, they represent a formidable fighting force. Our goal is to harness that potential to help us win this war. Reed?
We recovered some highly advanced nanotech from the Latvian attack on New York, and have found a way to use it to control the behavior of higher mammals. including humans. We've injected nanites into the bloodstreams of a number of these incarcerated superfelons. The nanites, tiny machines as small
And I think
as a
another
red blood
reason,
cell,
well, I
situate
should just wait until
themselves
this
in the
is
host
over.
nervous system. This forms an electronic network that we can wirelessly tap into, allowing us to remotely monitor and control these unpredictable but powerful new allies.
In addition to the behavior control system, there's also a failsafe. Using it, we can remotely render the host unconscious at any time.
The system has passed all preliminary trials, but now it's time for a field test, under real-world conditions.
That's where you come in. A number of unregistered heroes are about to be transferred to their new homes in Prison 42. You will protect their convoy. And once we feel the time is right, we'll deploy one of our nanite-controlled agents to assist you. If he gets out of line, we'll take care of it. Delivering these prisoners, and proving out the nanite control system, are two important steps to ending this war once and for all.
Okay, I might as well put this little thing out there. The only reason I kind of want to do this, I mean, it kind of seems out of place. I mean, my last 2 videos ago were my opinions on just certain things. And this one, I wanted to, and then I think the previous walkthrough I did hope, because I did not have fun in part 5. Part 6 I had a little bit of fun. In part 7 I just wanted to spice it up, talk about my favorite games. Why the hell not? I mean, this game is like hit or miss, being honest. It's got some good moments and it's got some bad ones. And by bad, it gets really, really bad, and it's supposed to be taken seriously. Oh boy. Let's kill this guy real quick. But, I mean, as I said before, none of the games, I mean, to be honest, I got this inspiration from, I watched, oh crap, who did I watch? A YouTuber. And a lot of people put on the comments, like, I only played like 2 or 3 games, whoops, of 2016, which kind of makes sense because, I mean, if you really pay attention, there were a lot of big games that came out in 2016, and within a small span of time, so not everyone could buy all of those games and get a good grasp of them. Oh, I think this thing can be destroyed. Get some little... Let me throw this guy off. Totally forgot about that. So for me, I didn't even bother buying any because, I mean, time, money, and I mean, and priority as well. Because I do mention in the beginning, like, I have games back in PlayStation I haven't even touched, PlayStation 2 I haven't even touched, PlayStation 3 I haven't even touched, and even on PS4 I haven't even touched. And I keep buying games, and I keep saying to myself, why the hell am I keep buying more games if I haven't even beaten my old games? So I decided last year to play some of my some of the games that I owned. So most of this, actually all of this list are not even one game came out even refers to any game that came out of last year. However, I guess I will start out with games that I wish I played, that did come out last year. Because, I mean, there were actually quite a few, but I was only really interested in 5. And the first one is actually Inside. What is the hell is up with this camera? That's what I'm saying. It's just fucking weird. Number 5 is Inside because I never really did this before in the past, but actually I did do it when I was like younger. I would just base games on their on visuals and also the story that it tells. And Inside, I like the Limbo. It's from the same people that did Limbo. Then they tell a unique story about some kid that's in some kind of... What the hell, man? gameplay mechanic fail.
We ain't done yet.
It's about somebody trying to leave a facility. It's in a dystopian world, and I thought that was kind of unique. I like the art style of it too. It's really yeah, where the hell is this other collectible? Is it over here? Oh, whatever. The aesthetics and the artwork are nice, but the main goal is the gameplay. Like, the reason with Limbo is that it was actually, it was very accessible to anyone. Anyone can play Limbo. Like, it's just a few buttons, and the same thing with this game. It's very, very accessible. Actually, I'm gonna put Gene. Maybe her this time. Yeah, I was gonna put Gene, but I think I used Gene the last time. Anyone can pick up and play that game and most likely enjoy it. It has a double whammy too. It's not just like Call of Duty where it's mainly just, it's primarily one kind of, how do I say it? It doesn't have one tune. Can you pick up this guy? Come on, Wolverine. Throw him off. I mean, I can't throw him off for some reason. What's up? Okay, that guy doesn't want to get thrown off. Number 4, which is kind of funny because it actually has a 4 in its name, is Uncharted 4. I did not like the Uncharted series. I thought it was kind of overrated, but I did. It might seem kind of like the minority opinion, but I did like the third game. I thought it was the best out of the ones that came out on PS3, because I mean the first one and the first one and second one were like, yeah, they're trying to build up the character and whatnot, and I think it was good. I thought it was good, but it was not anything to like brag about and exaggerate about, especially for Sony. I mean, it was a great IP and everything. But I did not find it really appealing until the third one, which actually showed the origins of him and Sully. And the fourth one, although the story, you know, really irks me because like his brother just shows up, like, and he doesn't talk about it in the other games. It's one of those reasons that I got into Uncharted.
Whoops, sorry about that. Nanite Control Officer Swanson here. I'm Venom's handler for this operation. Yes, I forgot to lock down his vocals. Anyway, my buddy and I are here to help. Widow figured we could give you folks a hand. Sure thing. This freak takes one step out of line, he'll get the shock of his life.
Enough.
But the reason I got into Uncharted, okay, Black Widow, come on, let me speak. But the reason I got into Uncharted was like Uncharted 1 just throws you right into the characters, and I'm like, okay, that's fine, because it's a great introduction. But I didn't think it was superlative in a gaming standpoint, gameplay standpoint. There were like camera issues, and the shooting mechanics were a little funky. But ultimately, it was a good game, but it wasn't like it wasn't the. I guess it was kind of overhyped. The second one did improve on a lot of things. The story was better and whatnot. But the third one, as I say, like I don't know what it is with third games, but they tend to always be the beginning of things. And Uncharted 3 actually had a great story to tell when Nathan's a kid, and he's just
There are more munitions in that area. Destroy them.
and he meets Sully, and he's trying to get this medallion and whatnot. I thought it was a great story to tell. And it's a great testament to him and Sully's relationship. So I really did want to. I didn't after I realized why I liked Uncharted 3, I started to like Uncharted 4 because I'm like, it is kind of like a new story to tell with this brother. And you know what? I'll absolutely pick that one up. But that was after I saw it a little bit.
It's 2 o'clock and 66 degrees in Midtown. Recapping our top story, the FBI and SHIELD have announced that the superhero
should I listen to this after?
New Warriors was found barely alive last week in western New York. Authorities have also released his true identity, Robert "Robbie" Baldwin.
Oh yeah, I listened to this on the other side.
I'll cut you down to size.
I should probably level up these guys. And my number 3 is Final Fantasy 15, much to my girlfriend's dismay. It's another Final Fantasy game. Like, it's another reason to get excited for the franchise. My main draw to Final Fantasy 15 was it's like a traveling. I guess I like the characters. I saw the movie Kingslave. I don't know. I don't want to pronounce it wrong, but the movie was great. It showed a lot of the prequel stuff, and it also explains the background. And I also saw Brotherhood, which explains all of the of how Noctis knows all of his companions and whatnot, his brothers, as they say in the trailer.
Today.
And so I was interested to see how the actual game was going to be like. It's Final Fantasy. I like Final Fantasy. I have like almost all the Final Fantasy games, but it doesn't make me a fanboy. They really screw up sometimes, but they take risks. That's the thing, and they sometimes learn from them. Except for the 13th.
Like I used to be, until I refused to sign a piece of paper. I mean, look at you. Do you even see yourselves? You're standing there with Venom, and you still think you're the good guys?
Come on, Prodigy. I like this guy. I like Prodigy too.
Yeah, so was slavery at one point. Doesn't make it right.
He's already grabbing me in the beginning. But yeah, Final Fantasy 15 because the characters. That was my main draw to it. That was my main draw. Oh crap. Is he gonna blind us again? No, it's just that thing again. Crap. Gotta get out of there. There's Gene. There we go. Almost dead. And my number 2 of the games I wish I would have gotten in 2016 was Doom. I mean, from a gameplay standpoint, Doom looks very entertaining. I've seen so many things of the game, and I still want to pick it up. Oh, frick. Come on, seriously? I still don't think that watching people does that game justice. Just like Final Fantasy 15 and Uncharted 4, like, yeah, okay, you can look at all the gameplay and stuff like that, but Doom is actually one of those very few games in which I actually want to pick up the game for myself and hold it. It feels very, it looks very, very very, very awesome.
Shutdown signal worked like a charm. He's in perfect stasis.
God damn, I shouldn't have done this level. Think about it. There's too much to speaking. I really want to speak.
Hang on, Delta. Dr. Pym wants Venom back at HQ. Everything's nominal, but he's detecting some unexpected signal traffic. Probably nothing. We picked up some ad hoc agent-to-agent signals we didn't expect. They just want to check it out before moving on. We'll be back once they give the all clear. Admit it, you'll miss having this pretty face around.
And my number one game that I wish I would have played last year is Dishonored 2. The only reason is because...
Delta, we still need you on the high line. Use that
Oh,
crane.
Black Widow.
Look out!
No loading screen, right? Loading screen. My gosh. But number one is Dishonored 2 because I watched so many ways people can actually finish that game, and I want to do all those ways. I want to do the stealth way, I want to do the all powers way, I just want to kill everyone and stuff like that. I mean, I do understand that
You ended up in the right place. We need you to clear the high line of all enemy forces before the convoy can pass through the intersection.
Hi, I'm Tony Stark. But some of you
I'll listen to that after. I'll play it afterwards. Teamwork. Yeah, Wolverine's definitely gonna need that teamwork. But I want to play actually all those ways. It got me really, really hyped to play that game. That's going to add a lot of replayability because, as I said before, I have a lot of games I have not played on PlayStation, PlayStation 2, and PlayStation 3. And it reminds me of those old kind of games where you can finish and complete the game in multiple ways, like Metal Gear Solid and Chrono Trigger and whatnot. I really admire that. Sometimes the best Gosh, how many of these guys are there? Stop trying to hit my guy. But it's not like Chrono Trigger where like Chrono Trigger is like an action, well, it's sort of an action RPG. It's more of an RPG, so it has somewhat of the same gameplay mechanics. But on Dishonored 2, what? Really? That's so freaking broken. But in Dishonored 2, like, you have to deal with the fighting mechanics, the power mechanics, as well as just, you know, stealth, I guess, mechanics. So there's 3 different types of ways you can play that game. It just reminds me of an old PS2 game, that's all I'm gonna say. And a really old PlayStation game or whatnot, where it has that much replayability, so much replay value. And I did put Doom. It was really hard to choose between Doom and Dishonored 2 because they both have a lot going for them, endgame content wise. Okay, Black Widow, relax. But ultimately, those were just the games that I would have bought or enjoyed in 2016. However, I did not have any money or any time, because this year I wanted, one of my New Year's resolution of 2016 actually did happen. I really wanted to relax and enjoy myself, play some games more, because I have so many games I have not even touched. Crap, let me pick this thing up before I forget. And I actually got to play them this year. That's what those games actually made my 2016 list. And as again, this was inspired by someone on a YouTube video by somebody. I do not remember which video it was. Gosh dang, it's in my history though. It's my history. It was one of my recent videos. And it inspired me to do this because the person on there said my favorite games of last year were actually games that did not come out last year. They were actually games that came out years prior. The reason being that he did not have to play last year's games, I guess, or 2 years ago games, 2015 games. And he wanted to play them. And he said that he enjoyed them. Do I have to destroy this? Okay, I am supposed to destroy that. There's genius. Destroy this thing. And as well, another thing that inspired me too was that a lot of people said in the comments as well, for games that they did buy, like Dishonored 2 and Doom, they could only play a couple of them because they all came out so close in time, or they just did not want to or they just didn't have the money, because they knew that they can only put in. They did do something right with games this year. They were trying to market to people like older people that would not have enough time, so it seemed more it seemed like there was more competition. And all the games that got my attention, I guess, last year were games that came out years prior. In fact, one game I think came out in '92 that made my list. The only reason being is I have not opened it, I did not finish it, I could not play it enough. And I finally got to play it, and it's pretty good. Gosh, there's so many different criterias I need to go over. Oh crap. Might as well use Gene again. Get this guy. But I mean, I think a lot of people can relate to that, especially last year. There are a lot. Really? Was it the thing?
Madrox is off the leash. Repeat, Madrox is free.
Oh, multiple man. Yeah.
Over. Heads up, Delta Team. Looks like multiple man is on the loose. Take him down before he swarms us.
Where's Cable? There's one more thing I wanted to add. Just do not remember. I guess my last inspiration for making this list is also my girlfriend too, because she's the one that actually told me to, you know what, just frickin' finish your gosh dang games so you can play the new ones. Because she's actually looked at my list of games on my PS4, like Marvel Ultimate Alliance, Marvel Ultimate Alliance 2, Black Ops 3, whatever, and she's like, you know what? Just play all those older games. Just do it. Oh, are you serious? Wow. You killed all those guys? Because I think we bought Rayman Legends. I did not want to well, it's not that I did not want to play it, but I was so dwelled up on playing these I guess these top 10 games on my list rather than playing games that came out this year. Granted, as I said, I was still excited for them. So I guess I should start out with number 10, which is a game... Oh man, I really don't want to bother this guy.
And you chose to pass through a civilian neighborhood with truckloads of captured heroes. I don't want any part of this war you got going on. But you bring it to my doorstep, and you're gonna get a close-up of my fist! Fine, just tell me what I...
Heads up, Delta!
That's it! These bums just left themselves a grade A clobbering from yours truly!
But my number 10 game is actually a game I downloaded 2015, but I did not touch until 2016, and that was Warframe. It's actually a free-to-play game. It's really fun. It's got a lot of replay value. What, I have to beat this guy again? That's not cool. Thank goodness I expanded this circle button. Crap, I had to upgrade the Wolverine again. Again? Maybe I should use the lunge. Nah, I'll just use the circle one. Someone else level up? Again? But number 10 is Warframe. If you can get past the artwork, because the artwork is kind of ugly, I'm not gonna lie. It's actually a fun game. It's something you can put hours and hours into. It's an RPG. It's an action game. It's, you know, it's a lot of different things. It's a shooter. Well, I guess it's like a shooter, action RPG, whatever. Is that gonna drop anything? Oh, okay, he did drop something.
Roger that.
And I did have fun playing with it. I mainly played it with my older brother, and he keeps playing that game, and they're adding so much content to the game. They've actually came out with a new mission thing or whatever. It's called the Glass Gambit. I haven't played that mission or whatever. In fact, I've not really gotten far in Warframe, but I've actually enjoyed every single.
About them White Star guys. Seems like they'll stop at nothing. Based on what just happened, I can believe it. I'm probably gonna live to regret this. But go ahead and count me in. I'm gonna stay here and make sure the cleanup goes nice and smooth. Call me later if you need my help.
Okay, Delta Team, back up to the rooftops to continue your sweep. We may not be out of the woods yet.
When did everything get so dad blame complicated?
Well, that's my number 10. It's a great game that you can play with friends. It's a great game you can play by yourself. It's a great game you can play with others as well. It has a PvP mode. They come out with seasonal events. They came out with a Christmas one. They came out with a Thanksgiving one. They came out with definitely a Halloween one. I played that one with my brother. That was fun. That was a lot of fun. So they do come out with some seasonal stuff.
Black Widow, are you in contact with Transport Beta? We got some
Gosh, I do not like this mission. There's so many things going on.
Negative. They're not responding to our signal. We've got a visual. Wait! We have prisoners escaping from Transport Beta. Repeat. Prisoners escaping on foot. Looks like Cap himself broke them out. All units close in. They're headed up to the rooftop. Delta Team.
Gosh, I'm fine, I'll just let it finish. And my number 9 is Injustice: Gods Among Us. I did not play this game back in 2014. In fact, I did not like this game at first. I thought it was not good at all. But I mean, my girlfriend and I played it. She gets really, really stressed playing it. And I can see why. That game can be very, very stressful. There's 10 things on this map? Oh, that guy fell off. Okay, cool. But I did have some fun playing with it. Yeah. Oh god, I did that one. Okay. Oh, you can't get any higher?
I knew it.
No, you can't. I guess you're not.
I'm on it.
I know this one's missable. I missed it the first time I played on the PS3. It was the damn camera angles. It's really, really hard to see sometimes in these archaic camera angles. I mean, there were games that had better camera angles, so that's embarrassing. But my number 9 is Injustice. I did have a lot of fun playing that game. Trying out the different characters. I am no good at fighting games, by the way.
Did you honestly think we'd let you waltz right through Midtown with our people locked up?
Come on, really?
Actually, you've got that backwards in a very big way.
Don't let them get away.
Better worry about yourselves first.
Goliath, yeah. I should pause it. So then I can talk about a little bit about Injustice. I played this one a little bit more than Warframe, which is why it's higher on the list. Granted, they're in two different genres. One's a RPG, shooter, action hybrid, and the other one's just a fighting game, but it's the fun factor and it's the mechanics. Warframe, the mechanics in that game are fantastic, and gameplay-wise, it's fun, but it can get a little tedious because you need to get like a Warframe to a certain level, and you need to get their parts, and then it's a free-to-play game, so if you buy the extra stuff on the side, it makes things go faster. But Injustice Gods Among Us, I should say the PS4 version, you can play oh crap, I missed everything.
Where are your shield buddies now?
But everything in that game is given to you because it's the PS4 version, so everything in that, all the DLC and everything like that. I forgot where I'm supposed to hit him. Am I supposed to hit him in the stomach? Okay, I'm supposed to hit him. Okay. Yeah, I remember this fight. Okay, who's gonna get the body upgrade? I guess her.
You asked for
it. Coming up, Widow.
Is it the Hobgoblin? No, it's Molten Man.
Need a light?
Oh gosh, I keep getting interrupted. But in Injustice, the gameplay, there are a lot of BS things in that game that can happen to you, which is why I played a little bit, like a tiny bit of online, and people just keep kicking my butt. But it's one of those few games where it's been out for a while and people are going to kick your butt, but at the same time you can have some sort of fun, even if you get one hit on them. Because there was this guy that kept gloating that he hasn't been hit using a certain character, and I actually got to hit him like a few times, and he kind of got upset at me, and I'm like, I'm not button mashing or anything, I just played somewhat strategically. So there are some few fun moments, even if you lose, and people do gloat on that game a lot, that you can have fun with. And I can't say that for Warframe, because Warframe, everyone's gonna be better than you, pretty much, even when you start out. And my number 8 game, oh frick, I shouldn't have paused when I should have. I shouldn't have paused there, I should say. Crap. Going right into that. My number 8 game is a game that came out 2001? And that's, I'm just wait for this. Is actually Pokemon Silver. Frickin' hell. In all of my years, my brother had Pokemon Silver for God knows how long. We still have Pokemon Silver, and I have not beaten that game. I've beaten Pokemon Red and Pokemon Blue. Get the hell out of the way! Goddamn frickin'. No, hit him. There we go.
You know what they say, the bigger they are.
But in all of my years, I've never beaten the game. I played it bits and pieces over the years, but I've never really finished the game. In fact,
say that's a fair trade.
Too much speaking, too much talking, too much speaking, too much talking. When I get to this next outpost, I'm just gonna pause the game so I can talk about at least 2 or 3 of them.
To both fight crime and deal with the unregistered heroes. We now have dozens of these agents in Prison 42, ready to support us at a moment's notice. The tide may be turning in our favor, but the longer this conflict drags on, the greater the chance of devastating repercussions. We intend to find a way to end this thing as quickly and cleanly as possible. Given what you've done for our side so far, we know you'll be a big part of that solution.
We're working on a plan to bring the anti-reg forces to us. Come to the briefing station when you're prepared to join in.
Okay, whoa. Someone level up? Oh man, I gotta start paying attention to people leveling up. Not you. Him, okay. So my number 8 is Pokemon. No, I don't want to talk to you. Oh, there's the heavy metal one. I'm gonna have fun doing that at the end of the game. How's that dossier? Yep. But Pokemon Silver, it's kind of embarrassing, but I've hardly ever played that game. The reason is my brother would always, he'd play it, and then I would play like a little bit of it, but I wouldn't really be into it as much as my cousins and my brother. At least that one, for some stupid reason. I'll listen to that later. But I think that's everything. But when I actually got to sit down and play the game, I emulated it, but every second of that game I actually enjoyed. It seems kind of archaic, some of the gameplay mechanics compared to the new ones, but I've actually enjoyed it. And especially when you can play at 8 times speed, something you can't do on the DS, because I had I had Pearl, and I had Platinum, and you cannot speed up those fights, really. I mean, you can speed up some things on the fights, but not everything on the fights. So it made training a breeze. It really did. And I think that it boosted my that boosted a little bit over number 10 and number 8 spot. No, number 10 and number 9 spot. With Warframe, like as I said, it kind of gets tedious. It takes a while sometimes to do all those things. Oh, and another thing I should add on Warframe: if you fail a mission, all of the experience and stuff you gathered does not carry over. So you can only level up and whatnot at the end of the level, not during the level. So I guess it's kind of like Final Fantasy 15, right? You level up at the end of the night. Warframe has something similar to that. And then with Pokemon Silver, the gym battles were kind of fun. Some of them were. It just reminded me of like the old cartoon, and the gym leaders are all up in your face, thinking they can beat the crap out of you, and it's like, okay, we've heard this like how many times? There's 16 batches in that game, so that's a big step up. But also, it kind of gets a little lame when they keep saying like, oh, they're gonna kick your butt, because the first 4 or 5 times I was excited. I was like, yeah, you know what? I'm just gonna kick your butt. You don't know what kind of training I've been through. And then when it gets to the 6th time, you're like, did they just like copy and paste gym leader to gym leader? But getting all the Pokemon was nice. Fighting Red, doing the Pokemon League, getting all of the, well, as I said, getting the Pokemon, but I especially love the evolutions in that one, like Umbreon and Espeon. It made me become a fan of Umbreon, especially. But then again, some mechanics were kind of broken. Like Dark attacks, I think, were like special attacks. Like all of them were special attacks. I had to look that up. I'm like, what? None of, because in the older games, like some dark attacks are physical attacks and some dark attacks are special attacks. Like Dark Pulse is a special attack and Faint Attack is a physical attack. But in this game, I think they're all special attacks. I have to look at it again just for reference, but I believe that's what it is. And other than the fact of that, I actually had fun playing that game. When my girlfriend would have class, I would be playing that game, and she would always be like, "Oh, you're playing Pokemon again," or whatnot. And sometimes I get into the game more that she's like, where she kind of jokes around with me, saying like, "Oh, yep, there's Andrew, playing Pokemon again," and whatnot. But that just goes to show how much I had fun playing that game in 2016. And that game came out 15 years ago, I should say, from 2016, 2001, I think. So like 15, 16 years ago. So if I had fun with a game that played 16, 15 years ago, it had to be on my list. I do have some honorable mentions, but they did not have as much fun as the top 10 games I had on this list. It was kind of close between 11 and 10 too. Number 11, my number 11 and my number 10. But so I had to make an honorable mentions list. My number 7 was actually a game I did a walkthrough on, was the prequel to this one, Marvel Ultimate Alliance. I'm so concerned of using the word HD remaster. It's kind of like more like an HD reskin of the same game. They just added the DLC from, for some reason they got rid of the DLC. But that was number 7 because I did a whole walkthrough of that game because I knew every single aspect of the game. It was cheesy and it was still enjoyable. I loved that the comic book missions in that game actually heightened some of the fantastic abilities of those characters, especially what levels were they? The Mephisto's Realm levels with Iceman, Blade, Ghost Rider, and crap, I totally keep forgetting who the last one was. But I did have a lot of fun with those characters, especially because you have to do it within a certain time limit to get gold, like the rating gold. Is it similar? It's similar in this game, but I don't think there's a time limit. Maybe there's a time limit? I'm not sure. I don't remember. But you need to get bronze, silver, and gold, and if you want to get gold, you have to do it as fast as possible. And sometimes you have to try different skills out and see what worked and whatnot. And I did this without a guide too. I did this all on my own. I did that all on my own because I did not do that on the PS2. I just got them all. I just got like bronze or silver or whatever I could get, and then you still unlock Silver Surfer for finishing all of them. So as in the PS2 era, I wasn't too much dwelled onto the, like, getting all gold. I mean, it's a trophy. I'm like, I can do gold, I'm more competent enough to do gold. So I did gold. I got the trophy. I got all the costumes. A lot of fanfare in that game, as opposed to this game. I mean, this game only has like one costume. And I do remember reading a Game Informer article about the amount of costumes in this game. There's only going to be one each because of the HD qualities of this game compared to the previous game. It makes sense. But considering that this game is not better than its predecessor is saying something in terms of story, because at least in the first one there was some campy dialogue. It was like in some areas. The Atlantis mission especially, I literally fell asleep on my walkthrough. I wasn't speaking. If I was speaking, it would have been silent for like maybe like 5 minutes, but I fell asleep because I got so bored. But I did enjoy Ultimate Alliance, the HD, at least with HD, because I did get to try the other characters that I couldn't try on the PS2 because I didn't have a 360 and I did not have a PS3. So I especially loved using Doctor Doom. I had him in like my whole walkthrough. Doctor Doom, Cyclops, who else was in there? Sabretooth. Especially love Sabretooth. I loved using him on my normal walkthrough because I believe my walkthrough was on the hard difficulty, showcasing all of the easy ways of getting through it on hard, because I did play it on hard on the PS2. But granted, I did have a lot of fun playing the HD game because I can try the other characters, unlock all their costumes. And another thing that was that was good to note was that the costumes in this game, they do not have special abilities. If I'm wrong, you can say I'm wrong, but I read so many things on the internet that the costumes in this game, I think before, because I borrowed my my sister's boyfriend's PS3 game, and I was like, oh boy, I can't wait to, you know, even if there's only one costume, I want to expand, like, oh, maybe it has like melee damage increase, energy damage increase or whatnot. Nope, not in this game. That was kind of the fun of getting that game. You had to get the ability points or the shield orbs or shield coins so you can upgrade those costumes. And I liked maxing it out, the different costumes, and trying out different characters with different costumes and different scenarios. Even playing the game over again to try different costumes. There was so much replay value just by trying the different costumes. Replay value trying the different comic book missions again and getting gold on it. I think there's more of an incentive to try to get gold on those missions because you want to get the trophy and whatever, you want to get the platinum. If you don't, if you just want to get Silver Surfer, because the only way to get him, I mean, you can cheat code it, but you're not going to get the trophy, and if it doesn't bother you, I think the cheat codes still work. I don't remember, but they work on the old PS2 games, but that's on the PS2 on PS4 thing, so I'm not sure if it works on the HD remaster. You can try that out. I didn't bother trying it because I didn't play without cheats the last on the PS2, and I will not try it on using cheats on the PS4 version, but I did have a lot of fun. I was actually going to put it a little bit higher, but I just realized that I couldn't because there were, I guess, the experience on these other 6 games that I have on my list, because this is all based on gameplay and I guess the fun factor for me, and it had to be at least in the top 10, but it's my number 7. My number 6 is Final Fantasy X HD Remaster. I don't know what it is with this, but a lot of these HD remasters that I put on this list, they're more like reskins, and that's kind of that kind of makes me laugh because it's just the company just trying to make a quick buck. It's because I know this one came out on the PS3. I even have the PS3 one. That's just how much I did not play this game over the years. I did not finish. I have 10 on PS2. I have it opened, and I did play some of it, but I did not finish it. And then on PS3, I didn't even open it. It was a limited edition too, and it came with an art book or something like that. And I got the PS4 one, the limited edition, and it had the calendar, which is nice. I even have it up right now. The calendar is pretty nice. It has the artwork, that I mean, I like it. The concept art, it's nice. But the Final Fantasy X HD reskin, I'll just say, I don't know if it's more of a remaster. I mean, they did improve the quality of the graphics, but that wasn't really get me into Final Fantasy. Was the graphics? It was more of the different stories and what battle system they're going to use. Because Final Fantasy X, I had to put it a little bit higher than Marvel Ultimate Alliance. I mean, I do like the action RPG-ish for Marvel Ultimate Alliance, because Final Fantasy and Marvel Ultimate Alliance, they're RPGs in some way, either action RPGs or just an RPG or standard RPG like Final Fantasy. You know what? I'm just gonna save it, and then I want to go to. I shouldn't even be running around because I gotta do the White Star portion, White Star part of the level. What am I doing? But Final Fantasy X HD Remaster, my girlfriend and I, we played the beginning of the game, and there's so many, I don't know if it's cheesy parts or parts you can really make fun of. We had a blast even in the first.
Here, team. Head to the briefing station when you're ready for your next assignment.
Yeah, unfortunately, all of these XP points that you get, they're all 0 experience. Let me just show you real quick. As opposed to the Stark Tower when we get 66 experience. 0 experience. 0 experience. 0 experience. And I think there's just an audio log over here, and that's it. And like in the teamwork thing in there, if you have Captain America on your team, you can go in there and get a teamwork thing. Yeah, it's just the audio right here. But and it's the same team too. I just realized the same team. I just love this team, this X-Men team. Yeah, and I did everyone to. Whoa, I didn't do that. Holy crap! Did I forget to do that? No way, I actually forgot to do that. And I don't think I did the Jean Grey defeated 5 foes with a single non-fusion attack. Well, at least I can use Cable now. I'll use them because there's so many parts you can use the clearing. Wait, is it clearing for them? Yeah, it's clearing for them. Well, I'll explain the Final Fantasy X HD. But then I played a tiny bit more of the game, Final Fantasy X HD, the Blitzball section and whatnot. I got even hooked on the Blitzball. That happens a lot. Does happen to a lot of people. I go on forums and stuff, and people are talking about the strategies, different teams. I even have the strategy guide, and there's so many things just for the side game alone that can already sell you the game. If you don't like Blitzball, you don't like Blitzball. Whatever, you know. But I actually enjoyed Blitzball. I had a lot of fun playing Blitzball. I loved recruiting people for Blitzball. Trying out different methods of playing that game with Blitzball, taking out Tidus and taking out Waka to try out different shooters. Even if I lost, I just restarted the game. But it was just my way of nitpicking with different people in my party for Blitzball. And then the battle system is another unique thing that I like better than Marvel Ultimate Alliance. The only reason is because Marvel Ultimate Alliance, no, in Final Fantasy X you control every character in your party, and you can swap them out at any time. Something you cannot do in Marvel Ultimate Alliance. Unlike this game, like in this game, you can switch out your teammates whenever you want. You can switch them out mid-level and whatnot, except for the first level for some reason. I don't know. Just they want to stick to that. Well, at least the first half of the first level. And in Final Fantasy X, I can switch out and swap players during battle. And in Marvel Ultimate Alliance 1, one of my gripes with that game is that sometimes the AI is dumb. Like, on your team is dumb. They fall off sometimes on cliffs. That happened on my walkthrough. I think Ms. Marvel and someone else died, and I had to wait like 20 minutes or something for them to revive at the save point, and I'm like, oh gosh, what am I gonna do? And I have segments of my walkthrough where I'm literally just waiting for them to respawn. I'm just destroying all the things in the corridors, just looking around at the upscaled graphics, and I'm like, okay, they revived yet? Oh, 30 more seconds. And in Final Fantasy, you know, the battle system I thought was personally, I thought it was nice. The RPG elements are great, and also you have the international version, so you can, in the beginning, you can choose to go with a standard sphere grid or with the more advanced sphere grid, where you can upgrade the characters in any way you possibly want from the beginning, which is nice. The only reason that there are only 2 reasons why it's only number 6 though, and kind of not in the top 5, and that's because the music. I heard the music wasn't great. It's actually butchers some of the tracks. I did not believe that. In the beginning, I think Tidus's team, the Blitzball, Tidus's theme, the Blitzball song theme, the Sin theme was alright, but then when I got a little bit later on, I'm like, yeah, they kind of butchered some of these emotional moments. And I mean, that alone was like, it took me out of the immersion of the PS2, because in the PS2 version, I kind of got to the same spot as I am on the PS4 version. I did not finish Final Fantasy X HD. I think that's another reason why it's only number 6, but it's still above number 7, because it's just, there's that really big discrepancy. And what's kind of funny is that Final Fantasy X came out before Marvel Ultimate Alliance on the PS2. Marvel Ultimate Alliance came out 2006, 2005, 2006? No, 2006, yeah, or 2007. And Final Fantasy X came out in 2001, 2002. And it's just that there's like a really big discrepancy in quality of the game. I'm still waiting for X-Men Legends and X-Men Legends 2. Those were the best games that that what studio did it again? Oh gosh, I don't remember the studio that made the games, the X-Men Legend games. But those X-Men Legends games were great. They were better than... I thought the quality dipped as the games went on in some way. X-Men Legends was always the best, I thought, of all the X-Men, of all of these Activision Marvel games or something. Action RPG Marvel games. Yeah, because with X-Men Legends 2, it was better in some aspects, graphics, frame rates. Yeah, the frame rates are actually better. That's one thing I can say about the X-Men Legends 1. Sometimes the frame rates dipped. And it kind of get a little frustrating, just a little. I don't really care about graphics, but it did seem smoother. Because it's, what is it called again? Cell shaded. And the cell shading in X-Men Legends kind of seemed a little wonky. But in the second one, it was a little bit better. It's more like artwork style rather than appeal. And I did not like the costumes for X-Men Legends 1, and then X-Men Legends 2 they gave them an extra costume. I think there's like 3 costumes, so they have like an extra one that you do from doing their comic book mission or whatever, and then there's another one for doing something in the game. And then in Marvel Ultimate Alliance they beefed up a lot of the things, but just because they add more doesn't mean it's better. There's always something missing. And then with X-Men Legends 2, this game, it's like kind of bare bones. Like there's just powers and abilities, and there's only 4 powers. In X-Men Legends 1, X-Men Legends 2, Marvel Ultimate Alliance, you had more than... Well, actually not in X-Men Legends 1, but X-Men Legends 2 and Marvel Ultimate Alliance, you had more than one ability for each of these nodes. And then the abilities too they kind of seem lackluster. I mean, everyone has pretty much the same abilities. And another thing too is that like the costumes give you extra abilities in Marvel Ultimate Alliance 1. This game does not, so it was like But with that keeps going back. I keep going back to Final Fantasy with this, is because Final Fantasy, although it has a lot of little weird dialogue choices, but it's still funny. It's cheesy. It's nice. But this game is supposed to be serious, and it's you know, not really serious. It's kind of embarrassing. But in terms of 6 and 7, it was kind of close. It was kind of close. But I did have to look on those two. I did have to look at all of their look at all of their qualities. And the other reason I did not like Final Fantasy X HD, or at least I couldn't put it in the top 5, was that the extra added boss fights they add in there, it's actually based on luck. The Dark Aeons and whatnot, it's actually based on luck. I looked at my strategy guide and they said, oh, this is what happens. No, it even says it in the strategy guide. It's like, okay, your recommended setup is this, and then it says, oh, if you're lucky, then you'll be able to do this. And it's like, if I'm lucky, you mean this takes no skill to actually beat this boss? And some may argue that, you know, that's not possible, but Final Fantasy IX with Ozma, like, people say Ozma is easy after you get a certain item, but when you're fighting Ozma, sometimes you die like really quickly, sometimes you die way later on. And in Final Fantasy X, the Dark Aeons, some of them, I think only 2 of them, they really kick your butt. Like, it's 2 different experiences all the time, and that's good and bad. And I see it more of as a negative, because the other boss fights in that game, like, they didn't seem like they're super powered, they just seemed like they're super annoying. At least with the Emerald weapon and whatnot in Final Fantasy VII, they were hard, but at least it took some skill to beat them. You know, you actually had to be prepared for anything. And in Final Fantasy X, it's like, oh, I hope he does not do that move. I hope he does not do that move, because there is a certain thing that you're trying to do to beat this boss, and if he breaks that element, you're like, okay, I'm screwed. Got to restart the game. I've seen a lot of people do that on YouTube. I've seen some streams of people doing that. My cousins talked about it. Well, now I'm in the top 5. I guess I'll start with the mission. Why not? I'm in the top 5. Gotta wait for Captain America.
We just got word that a number of our captured friends are about to be transferred to the negative zone. They'll be sent there using a trans-dimensional portal, which we've discovered is located deep in the Rikers Island Penitentiary. But they must be transferred to Rikers first via convoy. Our best bet to keep our friends out of that prison is to never let them get there in the first place. So, we'll be hitting that convoy hard as it passes through Hell's Kitchen.
Unfortunately, there's a complication. We have it on good authority that Stark and S.H.I.E.L.D. are bolstering their ranks with superpowered criminals. They're using some kind of nanite-technology to control the behavior of these sociopaths.
Don't those reckless fools have any regard for the risks they're taking? The point is, we might run into these attack dogs during our rescue op. So watch your backs.
The convoy route is heavily defended. You'll need to clear out the anti-air emplacements, so our chopper can get a clear shot at the trucks. Then you can bust out our friends and get them to safety.
Liberty Squad, convoy is now approximately 4 clicks from your position. Looks like S.H.I.E.L.D. doubled their guard on the anti-aircraft guns. We can't strike the convoy by air until you clear out those gun emplacements. Hit them fast, hit them hard.
So my number 5 choice is Rogue Galaxy HD. I'm gonna say it's a reskin. There's nothing new they added in that game other than faster gameplay. Oh crap, I just realized I'm supposed to throw them off. Whatever. I'll do it right now.
I've been down this road before with mutant registration.
What? Why do I get thrown off? Is there invisible walker? No. But Rogue Galaxy, I had the music in that game is enough for it to be in the top 5. I think it's underrated. I really do think the Rogue Galaxy soundtrack is underrated. At the end of the first, it kind of has a really slow beginning, but I did have a lot of fun. Oh crap.
We've hijacked S.H.I.E.L.D. comm frequency and are sending all is well messages back to the convoy. It's still on the way, so keep moving.
Wow, I think I already maxed them out on this one. But the soundtrack in the beginning of the game really gets you to want to play that game. From the beginning, the cutscenes, the actual battle theme, it's nice. Everything in that game is... What the hell is wrong with this area? Is like an invisible wall? Move cable. God damn you. Oh, there's a dossier. Wow, would you look at that? I would have missed that. But the music in that game alone deserves to be in the top 5. I mean, Final Fantasy X has great music, but it's the gosh dang HD baloney. But I mean, the PS4 version does get rid of that. It does. You can take it off. But just because they have an option, or just because they put that crap in the game, it just irks me the wrong way. With Rogue Galaxy, they kept the same music. They didn't rehash it or anything. And it still sounds good even to this day. I mean, if anything, I want to share that music to like a lot of people, because the soundtrack is kind of... It's really underrated. Wait, what's the other game that has a really good soundtrack that people listen to? I don't remember. But the gameplay in that game, it's like Chrono Trigger, sort of. You run into some enemies and then you have to fight them within a certain range. So yeah, it's like Chrono Trigger. And then I mean it's really addicting, but the only It's kind of slow, but that doesn't really bother me because you can try out these different characters, and there are so many things. There's so many, what is it called, bounty? Because you're a hunter, so you're trying to do some bounty stuff. Oh, great! Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot, Wolverine. I think they're too strong on this playthrough than opposed to the. I don't know how a machine gets wounded. It's my question. That's gonna blow. But the beginning of the game is, once you get past the first chapter, it's really, really good. It's very, very addicting too, because you have to, you don't have to, but one of the nice things about the game is that there's not enough enemies. Maybe there's enough enemies there? No, there's still not enough. It's only like 6. Yeah, 6. But you sometimes, because I started out, I was like, I don't want to do these bounty things. It doesn't really bother me. I didn't really care, because I mean there's a trophy for getting all that crap, and I'm like, I'm not really a trophy guy. But it actually made me want to play the different, because I think there's like 2 long-term side objectives in that game. One of them being the bounty stuff, and then another one being like this insectoid mission or something like that. Insectoid, like it's kind of like Pokemon. You collect insects, like you have to trap them and then collect them to be part of this tournament. And those 2 things alone, I never thought like I'd get addicted to that kind of stuff, but it was actually very addicting. I enjoyed every second of it. Well, it doesn't do that much. Back to Wolverine. But yeah, it was a lot of fun to just do those 2 things alone. The soundtrack is underrated. The gameplay is very, very unique. Well, sort of. As I said, it's kind of like Chrono Trigger, so it's not really unique. But I mean, for the time, it was trying to do something that a lot of RPGs weren't really doing, and that was the battle system. The insectoid, where it's kind of like Pokemon, and it paid off. It really did. And another thing too is that the load times, because another thing with these HD reskins, sort of, is that the load times are better. And in that game, I heard that the load times were atrocious. So if I'm saying the load times are great, like it's almost non-existent, then it's kind of a reason to pick up this game. It's almost endless, almost non-stop action. I mean, from cutscene to cutscene. Well, there's cutscene, battle scenes. Okay, I've already done the 3 things then.
Bet you're wishing you had a mutant healing factor too. You don't want me going berserker on you.
Oh, she died? Mother frickin' mercy. I already lost Jean. Crap, now I can't do the Gene thing with Cable. Oh, I mean, I kind of sound like I don't have a lot to say about Rogue Galaxy, but it's one of those games where it's more try it out for yourself rather than speak about, like Marvel Ultimate Alliance. I mean, you can say a lot of things about Marvel Ultimate Alliance, but I mean, it's like, you know, an action RPG. Final Fantasy, I mean, it's a different Final Fantasy. But with Rogue Galaxy, that's something that definitely put some time into playing. I mean, it's 2017, and I'm saying for you to play like an old PS2 to PS4 game, but it's because I actually enjoyed playing it. I really did. It was one of those games I had on my PS4 that I just did not go about, not even think about I would play. The only reason I bought Rogue Galaxy was because it was like dirt cheap. It was like $1 or something for one of these sales. It's really cheap. One of those flash sales that they have. And I'm like, yeah, you know, I'll just pick it up. It's $1. And I heard, and I like RPGs, and I just want to, you know, try it out. But once I actually got to playing it, I'm like, yeah, I guess I'll play Rogue Galaxy. I enjoyed it. I really did. It doesn't have the feels, as a lot of people say. It doesn't have anything that'll make you like cry a lot and whatnot. But at least so far. But it does have a lot of juice to the game. Oh, and another thing is that the gameplay mechanics. What the hell? What? What the hell's my team? Freaking touching themselves? Whatever. Killed you. That's Songbird, yeah.
I might be in charge of handling supervillains while the so-called heroes battle it out, but I bet I'll get a bonus for stopping you traitors. I guess it depends on how you define bad. Enough talking. I've got other ways to make you listen.
That's clearance and guided. Get the hell away. I'll heal up a little bit. You serious? Am I like stuck here? Oh. Yeah, gameplay fail. Oh crap.
Ready to move out.
I got so lucky here. That's kind of embarrassing. My number 4 game is Borderlands, the pre-sequel. But it's part of the Handsome Jack collection on the PS4. It was always I'm a fan of Borderlands, needless to say.
Don't mess with the old knucklehead.
Yeah, I guess it was my first AAA 360 game that I got. I mean, I had Gears of War and whatnot, but it was the first new, because I got it when it was new, like when it just came out. And
use that crane to reach the high line. Once it's clear, ambush will be a go.
Don't go up there. Fuck. Ah, crap, I just missed the audio log. God damn these load screens. In a PS4 game, it's still taking a long time to load. It's Come on. I can't even imagine what the PS3 ones were like. Well, I gotta do this level again anyway, it doesn't matter. But, my number 4 is the Borderlands pre-sequel. It's another game that my brother and I had played. My older brother and I, I'm enjoying every second of the game. I mean, we played it more in 2017, like the beginning of this year. I've been playing that a lot more than I think anything. But in 2016, it was really, really nice to play that game. It was really, really nice to dive in the world of Borderlands once again. I did not play Borderlands 2, it's part of the collection. I played Borderlands 1, I did some of the DLC. I didn't finish all the DLC, but I at least played them. And going to the pre-sequel, I thought it was a great step up for the game, except for the challenge portion. There are challenges that you have to complete in the game, and some of them just seem a little, you know, out of place. It seemed like it was going to be for like a just for like any shooter or something like that. And it's much of a grind. Like we're more addicted to like Trident Flats area and what's that, Stanton's Liver area, rather than continuing the game, because the game is really addicting even in the beginning. But that's also unforgivable too, because it makes us not want to continue with the game. And the game is good. The story, it's a step up from Borderlands 1, because Borderlands 1, the one thing, I liked Borderlands. I loved Borderlands when it came out, but the story in that game sucked. We gotta say the story in the game sucked. And the pre-sequel so far is already leaps ahead of, why can't you put this guy on the ground? Of course you're not feeling well. Freaking get in my way? It's a hell of a lot better.
Next time,
it's more enjoyable. So the stories, I think with Borderlands they were just trying out something new, and it worked for them. So then they continued making story decisions later on, because it just seemed kind of like a basic story. It kind of reminded me of what is it? Destiny. It only gives you like a portion of the game's story rather than the whole thing, which is kind of, I mean, they're trying to build a world, and oh man, let's get away. Yeah, I'll always remember that one. But Borderlands, the pre-sequel, is a prequel to the sequel, so... Do I really have to fly that far away? Really? Come on. Oh my gosh. Just for that. That's really... Just for that.
Keep going. Once those transports are down, we'll have time to get our people out.
Swanson, we could use some superhuman backup here.
We're on it. I've got just the girl for you.
Think of the scars as souvenirs.
I mean, it's definitely a game that you should put some time into to actually enjoy. Other than that, do I have this? Is this one of them? Yes, it's one of them. Yeah, you will love every second of any Borderlands game. I mean, if you're into story, don't play the first one. I mean, play the first one and then play the DLC. Oh crap, that's right. She's gonna do that crap. Yep, totally remember that. Still remember this game. Some of the bosses, at least.
Stay down, ugly.
Nice sound effect there.
Manicure while you're at it. Jeez. Nice to see you fighting bad guys for a change. What was little Miss Fake Nails up to? Wow, they must really be getting desperate. But like I told Reed, I don't want any part of this war you got going on. But that'd be the same thing as...
Shield force is coming for you. I don't think they care if Ben gets caught in the crossfire either.
So back to the pre-sequel. Definitely worth trying out. Oh, he's on the floor, that's why. And get it with the Handsome Jack get the PS4 one, the Handsome Jack collection. I don't know how the PS3 one is. I really don't know. But I'm guessing it's not as good as the Handsome Jack collection. You can play 4-player local split screen. I mean, if that's something that you like, it's something I definitely like. It's definitely what more games need too. There are not enough games that come out this generation that are split screen co-op or even have split screen in them, local co-op. Oh crap, where's she at? Now I remember this one. A little bit more. Is she gonna spin? She's gonna spin again soon.
She's patching up those bots somehow. We'll be at this all day if we don't bust them. Smash the bots while she's messing. It's a 2-for-1.
Oh. I should probably level him up before the next cutscene. Oh boy. Gosh, I keep getting cut off by this game. I want her too, Psylocke. 2, jeez, what have I been doing this whole time? There are a lot of things that keep you engaged in Borderlands, the pre-sequel. A lot of things. The different types of guns. They introduced this whole... Well, I'll just wait for Ben Grimm.
These shield guys are out of control. I almost hate to think of them winning with the stuff they're pulling. Based on what I just saw, I believe it. All right, I'm probably gonna live to regret this, but go ahead and count me in.
Sorry to interrupt, but we've got trouble. S.H.I.E.L.D. finally figured out we were intercepting their communications. Iron Man's on his way, approaching fast.
I can make sure these folks get out okay if you can handle old Shellhead.
Sounds like a plan. Liberty Squad, get back up to the rooftops. Keep Iron Man away from the convoy until our people are in the clear.
So they introduced the grinder, which is a way of you combining different types of guns to create new types of guns. There's the standard grind, which allows you to just make, you know, whatever types of guns, and they all have to be the certain color rarity, I should say. So 3 green guns, 3 blue guns. I already maxed out on a lot of crap. It's still fun to do it anyway. 3 green guns, 3 blue guns. 3 purple guns, but 3 purple guns I believe makes just a purple gun, because there's a whole glitch or something that happens that they had to patch up. People's games would be freezing
I ain't finished with you yet.
if they tried 3 purple guns. But I mean, the grinder alone is the reason that my brother and I are kind of stuck in the beginning. We just like making new guns. But the landscapes, everything in that game, the art style, it always had a really unique art style. It's Borderlands. The cel-shaded graphics, I mean cel-shaded, I guess that's not really unique in a way. You know, actually I just realized that like 3 or 4 of the games I have on my list are cel-shaded in some way. I guess that's just my thing, I don't know. Oh, there's the one. I missed this one on the first time I played it on PS3. But crap, gotta get this right. Borderlands, Rogue Galaxy, oh, one that has yet to come up, Ultimate Alliance, so yeah, and yeah, one that's coming up right now. It's at number 2, but well, let me finish it a little bit of the Borderlands. It's a really
such good sports and playing along. You must have realized that you're all far more valuable targets than anyone in that convoy. No, I'm a better businessman than that. Why would I negotiate when my side holds the most sizable assets? Speaking of which, now don't play too rough with your new toys, Hank.
Oh, you never let me have
or
any
Yellow
fun.
Jacket. Yeah. Plays exactly the same.
Yellow Jacket. You deal with him. I'll try to keep Iron Man away from our friends.
But gosh, freaking people in this game are dumb as shit too. But I would miss. Jeez. But gosh, there's so many things about that game that I can talk about. Crap. Get that focus.
Hold tight, team. Help is en route.
Looks like you guys got a little problem.
Come on, let's see if we can't heat things up a bit for our big and tall friend.
Totally just get that area, huh?
Try some quick attacks.
Crap. Yeah, I was gonna go right into that one. Might as well just stay in the beginning. But it's just this dang boss fight, I guess.
Always good to get on.
Waste my time.
Hit him wherever you can. But he's not vulnerable.
That was right on me. Damn.
I could beat you as well, but this is more fun.
Man, that's what I'm saying. Gosh dang, Pro side has the harder bosses. Just in this part. I can't freaking deal. I'm gonna probably lose this one.
Hit him wherever you can. Maybe you should stun him first.
But the bosses in the game, some of them are, because in Borderlands 1 the bosses kind of sometimes played the same, except for like the first 8, I'd say, the first 8 bosses of Borderlands 1. But in this game, a lot of them seem kind of unique. There's a lot of, because I think it was only played on the mature factors of the game rather than the actual
Fantastic work. Not only did you take down their biggest gun, but you bought time for our people to escape.
like it poked fun at the humor rather than the actual gameplay of the bosses. Like some of the first few bosses, like they have different things to them, and they actually introduce an Oz mechanic, which is just basically gravity. Like you can float and you have a jetpack and everything. So it's a really fun game. It's got different.
It's just a matter of time before public opinion turns firmly in our favor and the Registration Act becomes history. However, it's not over yet. Stark and S.H.I.E.L.D. have already proven they'll stop at nothing to try to break us. We must remain ready to face them at any moment, while also doing whatever we can to protect the public during this chaotic time.
I know it's been intense, but we can't afford to rest much around here. Take a breather. Then when you're ready, head to the briefing station.
But I mean, a lot of the bosses that we played, they have some unique factor to them. Like you have to beat them. Some bosses you have to fly up into the air to get. Some bosses you have to like go up go up with your jetpack, go up on what is it called, little launch pads to reach. What's another one that was unique? There's a little secret hidden boss fight in which you're kind of like in an arena. That was, I mean, it has a lot of unique battles and places in which you fight, and I kind of like that. It seemed unique. The game can stand on its own. If that were the first Borderlands game, it would have been, but here's the thing, like if it was the first Borderlands game, I don't think it would have been as successful. Borderlands 1 was successful because you can collect a bunch of things and have fun with your friends. This game is sort of the same thing too. And I mean, my brother and I haven't played with anyone online, but just us two alone, we have a lot of fun playing it. I don't regret a second even purchasing it. I bought it for $20. It was actually, I think it would even be worth $40. I think that's when the game came out, $40. It's worth $40 too. The amount of content in that game is just unprecedented. Just fitting on one disc, and that includes, as I said, Borderlands 2 with all the DLC. So pre-sequel with all the DLC. The pre-sequel alone, as I said in the beginning, already has a lot of content. And I can't imagine how much the DLC will add once we, get there. But definitely in the top 3, or definitely in the top 5, I should say. Top 5. Great experience of 2016. Even if it wasn't played that much, it was a great experience every single time we did play it. Because we played at the tail end of the, well, sort of. We started playing, I think, in September for a little bit, and here and there. But it was fun every single time we played it. Doing some 360 no scopes, pancaking on enemies with a stingray, which is basically like a flying, like a hovercraft that you can just slam on enemies. Being in a vehicle and killing a bunch of people. Trying out different guns with incendiary, corrosive, electrocution. Corrosive. I think that's all of them, right? Electricity, corrosive, incendiary. What's the other one? Oh, explosive. And explosive elements. Wait, there was another one, isn't there? Have them electrocuted, on fire. Man, I feel like I'm missing one. Oh, and freeze them, and freeze. and freeze enemies. I mean, that's all fun. As well as I said, like in Borderlands 1, you just collect every gun, you sell them into the shop, and then you get another gun, you know, and then you keep going and going and going. But in this game, you have the incentive to keep those bad guns, or keep those guns, so you can make new guns. And there's a chance that it might turn out crappy, but it's still worth the risk. It's still worth the risk. They introduced like a gambling sort of area. Well, not real life gambling, of course, but in-game gambling where you collect money, collect new guns, so you can create some in the grinder. So I mean, there is a lot of reason for you to go back in the beginning, and that's all the stuff in the beginning, because my brother and I are still in the beginning of the game, and it made my top 5 list because of so many things that they do and allow you to do in the beginning of the game. That's Borderlands, the pre-sequel. Number 3 is a game that I only played a handful of times, but the experience is something I even remember, you know, even to this day. I remember everything that I've actually done in that game. Granted, it's only a handful of experience, only a handful of times I played the game, but it deserves to be in the top 5. It's a highly underrated game. It's a game that I think people should play more. Games like this more, because it's the base game alone. So I mean, with Borderlands, like, you have DLC, right? You have DLC in Borderlands, but in this game, it includes the previous levels of those games, and that's Rayman Legends. Another game my girlfriend and I played, and it has a story in there. Granted, it's probably not the reason you play Rayman, rather than actual wonky action platformer sort of game. 2.5D, yeah. But it has like a bunch of side, like a little side, what do you call it, little side somethings, side, I want to get it right, like little side games, or like little games that you can play by yourself or with 2 other people, 3 other people, 4 other people, and you'll have a blast. As well as they have like this, what's it called, Blast of the Past levels, where they include levels from the old games that I remember playing back on PlayStation 1, and I think on PlayStation 2, but definitely PlayStation 1 and N64. I think it came out on the N64. But I remember playing those levels, but definitely the PlayStation. But I remember playing those levels, and I get to play them again on the PS4 on one game, and it's called Rayman Legends, you know. And I think we bought it for like $7 or something. It's definitely worth. I mean, $7 is like absolutely worth the price. But I think the original price is $20. It's really worth $20. I mean, there are a lot of great looking games that come out these days, but Rayman Legends is actually worth the asking price. The gameplay is smooth. Everything in that game is smooth. The animations of the how am I trying to say this? The sticker animations of the characters, the enemies, the bosses, the platforming sections, the mini puzzles that they have in the game, all very addictive, and sometimes you have an incentive to actually beat the leaderboards because you think that you can actually beat the person. My girlfriend and I, we beat a level and we ended up in the top, I forgot whatever percentage of the map, and we're like, hey, you know, let's do this level again. I think we can get even higher. There is small things like that in the game, and my girlfriend and I, we're not the best at video games. We're very casual, or I should just say casual. Well, I should say that she's very casual, but I'm casual. Like, I'll just play for fun, or I'll just play here and there. Except for this year, I mean, I kind of was more recreational. That's what I have in my description sometimes, recreational. I became more of a recreational gamer than a casual gamer, but I'm typically a casual gamer. And this is a game that you can play on your Vita as well. I think it's on the Vita. So it's cross-buy. Is it cross-buy? Gosh, I should have done some research on Rayman Legends a little bit. But definitely even worth on the PS4. If it's on PS Vita, get it on the PS Vita. It's a game that you can play on the go, and there's so many levels that you can do. as well as playing old levels in that game. Granted, you have to unlock them by this little whatever random generated random generated whatever machine to get those things. And also you can play as the other characters from the past and from this game. So I mean, you can play those levels without Rayman and do some of the things that you couldn't do on those levels, or find some creative ways of doing some things on those old levels that you did, and you can get a higher score. Like, that's one of the things that we did. We changed up our characters and we got a slightly higher score the second time around, or the third time around, than we did with the default characters. So I mean, there is an incentive to keep trying and keep playing that game. And as I said, I only played a handful of times, and I've enjoyed it more than I thought I would enjoy it. And it's higher than the other games, and it's definitely in the top 3 because of the amount of the wealth of content. Like, this game was $7. I think, like I said, Rogue Galaxy was like $5 or less, or $3 or something like that, $1. Like, Rogue Galaxy, there's like a little issue with there. Like, sometimes Rogue Galaxy, because it depends on the opening of the game. Like, a lot of $60 games that come out these days, and a lot of $60 games that I've recognized, like, the first few hours of the game are nice, and then afterwards it like starts to dwindle down. With Rogue Galaxy, it was definitely worth like the $3 or $1 that I bought it for, but even $7 for Rayman Legends, I think that, I don't know if it came out as a $60 game, and I don't know if it's worth $60 yet, but it's definitely worth at least $20. I think that's what it's asking for. It's definitely worth $20 in the first, because I think we played it for about like 6 or 7 hours. It's definitely worth that for the first 7 hours. And most games, they clock at 7 hours, the story mode or something like that. And we're still kind of like, we're like on the second half of, not second half, but like going towards the middle of the game. And we've already clocked in 7 hours, sort of. But we played more of the side games and whatnot, and that was fun. That was a lot of fun, playing as new characters, trying them out. So there is a lot to this game. And the mechanics, as I said, everything in that game is smooth. It's really, really smooth. There isn't a frame drop. There isn't a frame issue. The art style is beautiful. I'm not saying that the graphics are, because like my #1 game and my #2 game this year are actually really, really old games. Well, sort of. One of them's the 92 game that I was talking about. The other one is a game that came out like almost 15 years ago. Yeah, almost 15 years ago. But the artwork is absolutely gorgeous. What's another thing I should say? Do not underestimate some of the bosses. Do not underestimate some of the puzzles. They might seem easy, but they will kick your butt in some way or another. We took things. We had to do some segments again because of how difficult. Because a little small thing can screw up that puzzle. So it's somewhat iffy in that area, but it's still enjoyable, and it accommodates teamwork. Sometimes you can. It's like Super. What was it? It's like one of those Nintendo games or whatever that come out, in which you actually get to beat up your partner. Obviously, we found that out on accident, but we can sabotage each other, which is kind of funny because we started out doing that as an accident, and then it became more of like a friendly game of just beating each other up, which is nice, you know. We can beat each other up with different characters. We can do those levels again. Wow, we did a lot of things in 7 hours. 7 hours flew by very quickly. I think it was even more than 7 hours. Oh my gosh. It could have been 7 hours, and if it was 7 hours, those are the best 7 hours I spent of 2016. I mean, because the other games I played were more than 7 hours, so duh, of course it's going to be the best 7 hours of 2017 or 2016. But $7 for 7 hours, and it's in my top 3. It's what I'm saying is not going to do anything. In fact, every game on this list, I'm not doing it justice at all with any of these words. It is one of those games that you just need to you need to look out and see if you enjoy. These are my opinions, of course. You can develop your own. and if I keep going on, I should probably reiterate, but all of my games that I have on this list are games that I played that came out years prior to 2016. The only reason is because I have absolutely so many games that I have not played, and in 2016 my one of my New Year's resolutions was to play the games that I had before, then trying new games this year. If I can beat, I gave myself a little goal. If I can beat 3 or 4 games in 2016, I'll play it. I'll buy a new game. I won't play it, but I will buy it. And I didn't meet that goal. I did not meet that goal, but I think I only beat like 2 or 3 games. I was almost to 4. But I was gonna buy a 2016 game, so that way I can have a 2016 game. And I think it would be Uncharted 4. I think I would have bought that one. The only reason is because, you know, I have Uncharted 3 right there, and you know, put it on the shelf right next to Uncharted 3, Uncharted 4. I can put it right next to Uncharted 3, and but ultimately I did not meet that goal, which is kind of upsetting. But at the same time, I'm not regretting it, because this is the first time I'm ever doing a top 10 list. I tried to do this in the past, but it was because it was only for games that came out that year. And I remember the first time I made a top 10 list of a year, and 8 out of the 10 games I put on that list were games I didn't even play. They were games that came out the year, so like I think it was for 2009 or 2010, and like 8 of the games I didn't even play or I didn't even own, but they looked good. And then I thought this like 7 years later, I'm like, you know what? I'm only gonna make a list of games that I actually played. I'm not gonna fake it, and I'm not going to lie, and I'm not going to also belittle myself, or not belittle myself, but belittle anyone that's saying like, oh yeah, these are my favorite games of this year. And in a sense, that's lying, because I didn't play any of those games. I haven't played. Oh gosh, I haven't played. I'm trying to think if I've played a new game this year. Oh man, I may have, and I don't remember. Or last year, I'm sorry, last year. I may have, and I don't remember, but I just watch a lot of YouTube videos of the gameplay, not the story, but the gameplay, and especially in my 5 games: Inside, Uncharted 4, Final Fantasy 15, Doom, and Dishonored 2. I cannot look up any story elements on those games. I just look at the gameplay, like some of the different ways you can complete the game and levels or something like that. For definitely for Dishonored 2, that one I'm really enjoying at the moment. I didn't play the first one, but you know, I played the second. I want to play the second one. I hope that's a good way to going into it. The only reason was with Dishonored 1, I wasn't really feeling it. The reason is because I guess I didn't have as much exposure. And once Dishonored 2 came out, I was like, yeah, maybe I should get Dishonored 1, you know, try out the mechanics and whatnot. But I'm like, no, that's just another game that I have to add to the list to buy in the... another game I have to play that's from the past, like years old. If I'm going to buy a game that's really from the past, it's going to be games I've never... games that I've always wanted to have. Like, for instance, a game that I always wanted to have was, well, I mean, actually, I guess I should say one that I have right now, Final Fantasy 12. I've always wanted to have Final Fantasy 12, and I bought it like 2 years ago for like $7 or something like that, with the limited edition strategy guide for like 20 or something, so like $27. That was a game that I always wanted, and that was a game that I have in the past. But Dishonored is not like one of those games I really want, but it's a game that I feel like I need for the second one. But then I'm like, you know, I'll just play the second one. If I like it, I'm gonna like it for the mechanics, not for the... Well, that's a little iffy thing. With me, I do watch a lot of videos that say like, okay, the story, are you more of a story person or a gameplay person? And once I had a reflection, and I realized that I like playing games that have great gameplay. The reason is because you can watch a great TV show, and that's just watching it. You can watch a great TV show. Wait, did I just say that? Great movie, great TV show, great anime, whatever, and you watch it. when you play a game and you just say like, yeah, it's a good story, and you watch it unfold. But rather, I like to play games that in which I can play and control what happens in the end. Like if I die, I die. Like in Dark Souls, like if you die, you have to start from a certain checkpoint or whatever. But I mean, granted, like this game, like it's gonna end the same, like primarily for both sides or whatever. I don't know. It could end like that, and you know, playing the game from beginning to end is probably the best reason to play video games, rather than the actual watching cutscenes. Like in Metal Gear Solid, like I really did want to play Metal Gear Solid 3, the Snake Eater, only because it's kind of a prequel game. I didn't want to play like Metal Gear Solid 2, but Metal Gear Solid 3, you know, I wanted to dive into that. But I couldn't get myself to try and get it, because I heard there's a lot of cutscenes and stuff like that. In Final Fantasy X, there are a lot of cutscenes too. I'm trying to think of another game I have on my list that has a lot of cutscenes. Rogue Galaxy is like because you can skip them, even in the PS2 version. Injustice, you can skip them. So I guess not a lot of games let's have a lot of cutscene oriented, but I mean they have a lot of content to them. But in Metal Gear Solid, like you can beat the game non-stealth. I love those kinds of games, like games that you can beat the games in multiple ways. Like in Marvel Ultimate Alliance, you don't have to beat up everyone. You don't have to do all the comic missions. You don't have to well, I guess you have to beat the bosses, but you don't have to do certain in the first one you kind of choose your own ending. If you act on certain parts, or if you don't act on certain parts, or if you act on parts in different ways. And I kind of like that. It adds some kind of replayability to the game. Like, oh, what will happen if I do that? But ultimately, it's not in the same contest as Metal Gear Solid and Dishonored 2, in which you can play the whole game one way, or you can play the whole game in another way, or in another way. You can do mix and match. But in these types of games, like, it has to be one way. That's not bad. That's good. There's consistency. I mean, there's also consistency with Metal Gear Solid. It depends on how you play. Solid, get the hell out of the way. Come on. Jeez, let the guy walk. But something that speaks to my heart is the gameplay and the ways that you can play the game. That's the one thing that I like about my top 3 games, I should say, or my top 5 games, is the different kinds of way you can play them. Like in Rogue Galaxy, you can fight every monster. Like you can do the bounty hunting. It doesn't even matter in the end game. You don't have to bounty hunt the hell out of anything. You can just go on about the game. You don't have to do the insectoids. There are side quests that you do not have to do. Same thing with Final Fantasy, but I mean with Final Fantasy, it's like a really side quest. With Rogue Galaxy, it always keeps jumping up, and it doesn't get annoying either. Like you can just totally avoid it. You can just be like, yeah, whatever, you know, just keep going on with the story. Or you can do the story with the side quests, and you get new items that allows you to go about the game in a different way. Like if you get like a new sword, you can be more of a support character, or if, like your character, the main character can be more of a support character, or another character can be more of an offensive character. One character can be more defensive and helping out allies. I guess that's support. And then another one's kind of like a backdrop character that fights on the outside, like doing magic and stuff like that. And it can mix and match with different characters. Borderlands, the pre-sequel, like you can fight with melee, you can fight with guns, sniper rifles, rocket launchers, shotguns, whatever. So I mean, there's a wealth of different things. You can slam, like you can fly up in the air and slam down. You don't even need the what is it called, the stingray, to do that. You can do it yourself. You'd have a slam attack that you can do. You can fight that way too. There's so many different ways you can fight in Borderlands, the pre-sequel, that it does not even matter. Like how you can fight the bosses that way and whatnot. And then with Rayman, like I guess in Rayman you have to fight a certain way, But then again, you can have your partner fight for you, and you can just be in the back helping them out, this and that. But I mean, it's just that, like, the gameplay is the most important thing for me. What makes me play this, what makes me want to play video games. Because I mean, I did go through a run where I didn't play video games for like a year, and the reason is because there were a lot of games coming out that didn't really do it for me gameplay wise. They kind of seem like a copy and paste of another type of game, or another game. And I'm like, yeah, I already have a game like that, or I've already beaten a game like that. But, you know, once I got to playing around with these games, I really, really enjoyed them. My number 2 is GTA Vice City HD reskin. It's not really a remaster. I guess it's a remaster. I looked at the definition. I mean, I remember the definition too. I mean, I'm really into like English and all that stuff, and vocabulary and grammar. It seems more of a reskin, but GTA Vice City is definitely my number 2 game of 2016. I had a lot of fun. I clocked in hours. I had multiple different playthroughs. I played through the game different ways. Wow, there are so many things that GTA, the old ones, San Andreas, GTA 3, GTA Vice City, those games were awesome. And even in 2016, it's still awesome. You can use the cheat codes and do all this kind of crap. I've done that. And I went about doing the missions using cheat codes without using cheat codes, because it means 2016. Yeah, I wanted to play the game like the way it's supposed to be played, and it's still hella hard. So I have a save slot for cheat codes, and I have a save slot for non-cheat codes, or yeah, cheat codes, and then a save slot for no cheat codes. I mean, both ways I'm having fun. There are challenges that people post on forums that you most likely want to try. The songs in the game, the 80s soundtrack in the game is great. It was actually my first reason for buying GTA Vice City back in the day. Yeah, this game is almost 15 years old, and it's still timeless. I mean, a lot of people say with GTA 5 and GTA 4, the games are not good. It's all subjective, it's all obviously objective. But, I mean, I had GTA 4. I played a little bit of GTA 5. I'm not a fan of GTA 5, but it's because I haven't played it enough. When I first played GTA, I did not like it. But the reason is because I didn't play it enough. When I actually got around to playing it, I enjoyed it. And with Vice City, the HD portion, like, the loading screens are almost non-existent. The cheat codes still work the same. There's no like stuttering frame rates when it comes to like you using Molotovs or you using grenades or something like that. None of that. They have a little, because I know they have some achievements in the game. I mean, I did 100% on the PS2, but there are some other things I didn't know about, like the beach volleyball and crap, I want to get that island right. Starfish Island. I did not know about that thing, as well as I didn't know sniping seagulls gives you like some kind of criminal record points, I think. Like, it only gives you like a little bit, but you have to shoot a certain amount. I did not know that stuff. So I wanted to dive back in. I'm like, yeah, you know, there are a lot of fun things to do in GTA Vice City that I didn't even know about when I was playing it on the PS2. And that's saying something. And it was 2016 when I played that game again. Absolutely, it's a timeless classic. Just listening to the music while it's on fire. Oh man. His soundtrack alone just sells the game. But that was as I said, that was my reason for buying it in the first place back in, when did I first buy that game? Like 2000, I don't remember when I first bought it, but I just remember being very, 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 very addicted to that game. I play that almost every single weekend, as well as Star Wars Battlefront 1 and 2, X-Men Legends, like all the PS2 games that I loved playing. What was another one I liked playing? Final Fantasy, and I played that one a little bit later. Final Fantasy 10, I played that one a little bit later. Oh man, what other games did we play? Airblade, Hidden Invasion. Hidden Invasion is not a good game, but Hidden Invasion, NCAA football games. Man, how come I... Oh, SOCOM 2, SOCOM 1. That was like this era, and I loved those games. GTA Vice City is number 2 because of not just the nostalgia factor, but it even holds up today. It has somewhat cel-shaded graphics. That was another game that has somewhat cel-shaded graphics. But it, even to this day, like, the graphics did not matter to me. In GTA 4, I think I first played that when I was like I think I played it in 2013, the first time I played it. No, I mean, I saw my cousins playing it, but the first time I actually played it was like 2012, 2013. And I did not care about the graphics because they're coming out with GTA 5. And I was like, okay, you know, but I'm playing GTA 4 because I just got out of like San Andreas, Vice City, because I played the hell out of those games. And I'm like, you know what, I'll play the 3D, or the new 3D, or not the new 3D, but the GTA 4 one that everyone's talking about. And I love GTA 4. I love the GTA franchise. There was always so many things that they add to the game that makes you want to keep coming back to it. And this PS2 game didn't have any DLC and whatnot. They didn't really add anything to this game. But they opened your eyes to some mini games and some little segments that you wanna do, or things that you missed out. Maybe beating a mission without using cheat codes. There's an incentive to go back to playing this game, as well as there's like pages and pages of forums of challenges that people post on Vice City, like, oh, Vice City, complete the what is that level, the cherry top or whatever, the one where you're in a truck and you're delivering drugs or something like that. That one was so much fun. The challenge was beat that level in the arena, dodging everything, only using grenades. That was a challenge. I don't know if I did that one, but there are a lot of challenges that you can do. And my number one, well, I mean, I guess I should do my honorable mentions first, but I won't really say anything on them. 1 second. Sorry about that. But before I get to my number one, I have some honorable mentions. I have not played, the number 11 game and number 10 game. So my number 10 game was Warframe, and my number 11 game is this one, which is Ni no Kuni: Wrath of the White Witch. Now that they're coming out with Ni no Kuni 2, I want to play Ni no Kuni 1, and I barely touched the game, and I like it. I really, really like it. I don't know if I'm in love with it yet, but I like it. I guess that's why it was not in my top 10, but it was kind of close. I could not get too far in the game, but I mean, the reason is because of time. It's an RPG, and it's kind of like Pokemon. You have to collect monsters and whatnot, and I'm like, oh, I'm already playing Pokemon, you know. It's another game for me to play Pokemon. I just don't want to get into it. But it's in an honorable mention because with the time that I did have with the game, it was a nice breather. It was an RPG in which you can relax. The music is soothing. It's not like Final Fantasy where it's like in your face, the music's intense in the beginning and then it slows down. This game is like, it's mellow and then it gets a little sad and then it gets more mellow. It's kind of a mellow RPG, and at the moment it's definitely a game that I underestimated. It's definitely a game I should have played more in 2016. Definitely worthy of an honorable mention. Another one, which I don't know if I should put this on the list, but it's because I played it with my brother-in-law a lot, and it's Call of Duty Black Ops 3. Personally, I was not going to add this to my honorable mention. The reason being is because I had so many bad experiences in multiplayer. The single player, I think I talked about it a little bit. Like, the single player would freeze at the end of a level and I had to do the old level again, and I was doing the levels on realistic with my brother-in-law, so I'm like, holy hell, we gotta do that level again. And on realistic, you get shot and get down in like one bullet, but it's a little. I'm a little concerned for it being an honorable mention, but I did have a lot of fun in 2016 because I think I first got this game in 2015 because I have the limited edition bundle, 1 terabyte bundle, and Black Ops 3. It's by all means not a bad game. It's questionable. It's based on your preference of first-person shooters. This one, you know, you have your ups and downs with the game, and I think that's the reason that's on the list. Most Treyarch games that they make, like Tony Hawk's Pro Skater, like you're gonna have what other games did Treyarch make? The Spider-Man games, Spider-Man 2. Spider-Man 2 is one of my favorite PS2 games of all time. In fact, it's one of my favorite movie license games of all time. It's probably my favorite movie license game of all time. Maybe. I mean, because I have another movie license game on this list. But it's definitely one of my favorite. So Treyarch does do a good job on most of their games. Black Ops 3 in particular that I played last year. Speaking of which, of the movie license game, it was X-Men Origins Wolverine. A lot of people, not a lot of people, but I've read a lot, and by a lot I mean like 25 different articles that talk about how the gameplay is repetitive. And the gameplay is repetitive, which is why I think it's like number 13 on my list, because I'm going by 11, 12, and this would be 13. And the story still plays the same, but it's still fun. It's still fun to play as Wolverine. It's still fun to upgrade his abilities. Playing on hard adds some kind of challenge. Not really much of a challenge because it's almost impossible to die if you're actually playing the game. But the mechanics of the game are fun. It hardly screws up. I don't know if that's just my game or if it's because people, I don't know if they're doing something with the console or not, but the game never really froze up much on me, nor did it it was kind of smooth. It was kind of smooth experience. I enjoyed every second of it. But there are a lot of downsides to the game too. Number 14, 15, and actually wait, I think this is going backwards. Oh yeah, I think this is going backwards. Never mind. No, it'd still be 13, right? 11, 12, 13, 4. It would be number 14. Yeah, there are a lot of bad things about the game. But Ni no Kuni, I think, is number 11. But it has a lot of bad things in it. One of them being like you have to fight bosses, like every type of boss a certain way rather than actual beating them in another way. The first 3 times you do it, it's nice because, you know, it changes up the pace of the game rather than you hacking and slashing and like occasionally jumping and killing things in the air, and then you have to go about fighting mini bosses. And the first 3 times, like, okay, yeah, it's like varied, but then when you get to do it more and more times, it just gets repetitive and repetitive and repetitive. Oh, it's just, it kind of killed it for me. But it was still fun. It was still a fun game. They had some fanfare with the costumes and some of the voice talents, like Hugh Jackman's Wolverine. So that, you know, it's nice. It was not a bad. I think who did Ravensoft and whatnot did a good job. Did a good job with that movie license game. It was not bad. Another one that's on my honorable mention is Battlefield Bad Company 2. I regret not playing this game back in 2009 or 2010, whenever it came out. I saw my cousin play this game, and I loved it. In fact, I think I bought the first one first, and I loved the first one. I loved the characters. I loved the multiplayer. It wasn't the best multiplayer because there's only like 3 modes, or like 2 modes, or 3. I think like 3 modes. But they add the DLC is free. All the DLC is free for the first game. So I got to try out the different modes. There's like Capture the Flag and whatnot. Hardly anyone's playing those game modes, but it was still fun. It was still fun. But I played Battlefield Bad Company 2 last year, and that game is leaps better than the first one. It's actually a sequel that's better than the predecessor. And almost every way. The only way that it didn't really win me over was the co-op. The first one did not have co-op, but the second one did, and the co-op was kind of meh. I tried all of the missions, and it was like meh. because everyone already knew what to do. It didn't really seem coordinated as they advertised, but how many times does a co-op game go as advertised? But Battlefield Bad Company 2, I wanted it to be a very, the co-op portion at least, to be very, I wanted to have some quality, but you can only be as good as the people that you team up with, so, whatever. The single player is great. Well, the single player is actually, a lot of people say it's decent, but I think it's great. They don't go into the past really more so of any of the characters like in the first one. They do talk about some things in the past, and they make up some witty banners. So the main reason to actually play those Battlefield Bad Company games, I want them to make Bad Company 3, or at least with those characters, because they actually added some soul to the single player. Like in Titanfall 2, like I watched a little bit of Titanfall 2's single player, and there's some soul between the human character that you play as and the robot. That's a great example of, I guess, a first-person shooter character development. You know, some kind of way for you to appeal to the character. Like Black Ops 3 is not a great example. You do not feel immersed in that game at all in the single player, and that's kind of embarrassing because I liked the single player at first, and then I realized, you know, this single player is actually really, really bad. I was a defender of the original, of the single player, because I'm like, no, it adds all these things and blah blah blah, and no. I looked at everything about it, I'm like, nope. But Battlefield Bad Company 2, definitely worth the $10 it is for the Ultimate Edition. It's not in the PSN store, but it's on Amazon. I bought it for $10, and they still have Ultimate Editions for $10 on PS3. And like 200 and something plus people play it still. So I mean, you can get a little bit on the multiplayer. You can play some of the co-op, because with co-op there's actually like quite a bit of people playing still co-op. Single player is great to even have too. I mean, $10 even if you want to play single player is still good, because the story is not half bad. It's pretty good. Another one that made my honorable mention is Shin Megami Tensei Persona on the PSP. Well, I don't know if I should put these two together or not, but Shin Megami, because they kind of go hand in hand, because I kind of put these both on the list because they compare each other out. I guess Persona 4 Golden and Shin Megami Tensei Persona are my like last ones on my honorable mentions. The first Persona game on the PSP is really, really archaic. It's really, really old. The gameplay is really, really old, but I fell in love with it because of the different personas you can use. The monsters you fight, they, you know, you can recruit them, and you can what is it called? You can use their abilities to make new personae. So it was a great series to dive into, because I think I started out playing Persona 4. And then I went to Persona 4 Golden, and then they had a Japanese Golden Week sale in Japan. Came over to the States, and I bought Persona 2 Innocent Sin, Persona 2 Eternal Punishment, but I did not buy P3P, which is a Persona 3 Portable. I ended up buying Persona 3 Fez, and I still have it. It's actually unopened. In fact, I think Eternal Punishment I still haven't played it. I played a little bit of Innocent Sin, but I couldn't put it on the list because I really did not play much of it. And from what I played of it, it's not as good as the first one. But the reason is because I dived more hours into the first one. The first story of Persona, this is the reason, like, I have to compare Persona and Persona 4, because the Persona series, like Shin Megami Tensei, like the Shin Megami Tensei series, I had to look up on the history of it, because it dives into like a lot of religious, political, and scientific aspects of life and humanity. And the Shin Megami Tensei Persona series is actually a spin-off, because it only dwells onto the psychological aspects of the Shin Megami Tensei series. So it is a spin-off of the Shin Megami Tensei series, because it only explores like one premise of it, and that's the persona of a person. And the first one is a great story that tells, you know, of persona, of the character is, I don't know, all your characters' persona, like why you have persona. And the reason is because in Persona 4 Golden, only your main character can have multiple personas, but your other characters don't, and that kind of was like irked me the wrong way. Supposedly that happens in the third one too, and I was like, no, that doesn't really make sense. But the Shin Megami Tensei, the first one, Persona, every character can have multiple personas equipped to them, and they can have like a melee weapon, like some kind of ranged weapon. So I mean, it adds some variability. But in Persona 4 Golden, you can only like wield a sword, you can only wield a gun, or some kind of like other object, small object. For Chie, her shoes, or her footwear, I should say. So I mean, there is some variability in the tactics of fighting in Persona 4 Golden, but in Shin Megami Tensei Persona, every person has some kind of gun, some kind of weapon. And another thing is that you can create like a battle system in which you want a person in the back. Like if a person like has like a bow and arrow and can attack like from far range, you probably want to have them in the back. Person has a sniper rifle, whatever. So if you know their boss is coming up, let's say you die by a boss, and you know like, oh, he's like a long reach fighter, put most of your characters in the back, like that can do long range shots and whatnot, and your persona can do long range abilities. So there is some depth in that. In Persona 4 Golden, that's not there. It's not there. I almost was surprised by my decision of this, because Persona, like, although Shin Megami Tensei Persona is the first in this series, I thought it played best well in mechanics. Some things are archaic, yeah, like the system, the battle system is like kind of messy. Moving people is kind of messy, like it sometimes doesn't come out the way you want it to. And I think the second one addresses that better, but I haven't played the second one enough to actually grace my opinion with that. But Persona 4 Golden, it's not there. Everyone's out in the forefront. Everyone except for your character has multiple personas. I mean, but when I mean multiple personas, I mean can use multiple personas at a time. You can evolve those personas, which is different from the first one. However, there is a discrepancy within the first half of the game, which I think Shin Megami Tensei Persona does better than Persona 4 Golden, because Persona 4 Golden starts out very slow, and then when it gets to the halfway point, you're like, yeah, alright, you know, going to school and blah blah blah, and then Shin Megami Tensei Persona, you're just right into the battle, like, throughout the entire game. And I think that's the one difference. I think once I got halfway through Persona, and then I got halfway through Persona 4 Golden, I realized one game was kind of more superior, kind of, but this is my personal opinion, and I thought Persona 4 Golden edged out Shin Megami Tensei Persona, you know, because of the other half of the game. Like, Persona, you can end the game very, very early, and the same thing with Persona 4 Golden, but how do I say this? The gameplay still stays the same as Shin Megami Tensei Persona. With Shin Megami Tensei, or I should say with Persona 4 Golden, you do have the school life, and then you have you know, you're fighting the shadows portion. But once you get to that other half, like, they add like a summer portion of the game that's not in Persona 4, because I play Persona 4, and they also have a winter section. And I'm like, wow, with the new character they put in there, Marie, if you build her up enough, you get a little final, like an extra dungeon that you can do, and like, oh, you know, that's cool. So there's some things that they add in Persona 4 Golden that they did not add in Persona. I mean, in Persona you can now do the winter queens, or the snow queens quest, but it's not as long as the base game. But I mean, you can do that game mode from the beginning if you want, but it doesn't mean that it's almost a better experience than Persona 4 Golden. Like, Persona 4 Golden, I was very surprised. This was a very close one in terms of which one was a little bit better. But that's the reason. And my number one game of 2016 is a game that came out in 1991. Did it come out in 1991 or did it come out in 1992? It may have came out in 1992 in the States, but it came out in 1991 in Japan, and that's this is a kind of a big surprise, but it's Final Fantasy IV. Yeah, I thought when I made this list, I did not think for a second that this game would be number one. But when I played the game slightly again, and I realized that this is my number one game of 2016. Because, I mean, yes, you have set classes, like Cecil is like a Dark Knight in the beginning, and he becomes like a Paladin later on. But there are twists in the game that happen that you do not see, that if you don't read anything online, like you know about Final Fantasy VII and who dies, or if you know in Final Fantasy VIII how it ends, and Final Fantasy X you know how it ends. Like, I had so many Final Fantasies spoiled for me because of YouTube, because of, you know, relatives, because of a strategy guide, because of whatever. Final Fantasy IV and Final Fantasy V are the only Final Fantasy games I did not know about anything. So when I played Final Fantasy IV, I realized all these twists and all these turns, and I'm like, holy crap, like, I did not see any of these things coming. I did not anticipate them. And especially in 4, like, I didn't play 5 enough, and it couldn't make my top list because I really hardly played Final Fantasy V. But Final Fantasy IV, like, even though, like, you're a paladin and stuff like that, you can still be a support character. It's really difficult, but it adds so much strategy to beating those characters. And this is the hard type version of it, because I have the PlayStation one. The PlayStation, they said it has like a really bad localization with the dialogue and stuff like that. I thought it was hilarious. I thought it was cheesy. I thought it was hilarious. I'm like, yeah, this is definitely a game that came out in the 90s, and I liked it to stay that way. GTA Vice City, I think, was number 2. Is my number 2. And it was a game that was ahead of its time. And this Final Fantasy IV game, I wouldn't say it's ahead of its time in terms of gameplay, but it's ahead of its time in its story. Definitely. It is. There are some things that you did not anticipate. Because, like, the one thing I really have a hard time with games these days and their story is that you're anticipating a sequel. You really are anticipating a sequel. Like, you know, if this game sells well, or if it's like, for instance, Titanfall, or what's another one? Well, The Last of Us Part 2 was a surprise. I thought The Last of Us was just going to end on 1, and they were going to just continue with the new IP. But Infamous, I knew after the first one, they were going to come out with the second one. I knew instantly. Not because of the ending, but because of the IP in question. Borderlands, that was another one. Like, there are so many games that you know that are going to have so much lore into it that you want to have sequels for. And Final Fantasy IV does have a sequel. It's called The After Years, and I haven't played it, but a lot of people say it's like kind of bad. It's really bad sometimes, so I don't want to play it. But Final Fantasy IV alone has its lore in the game. You play through the lore. As your characters are going on, you realize more and more of the lore. And the game, because this was really, really spectacular when I first played the game, because in Final Fantasy 1, you save the princess in the beginning. I remember there's, actually, check out this channel, it's Dark Pixel. They have a lot of reviews on Final Fantasy. No, Dark Pixel Gaming, I'm sorry, on YouTube. And they do bring up some good points. Like, Dragon Quest came out in 86 or 87 or something like that, before Final Fantasy 1, and in Dragon Quest you like save a princess or whatnot, and in Final Fantasy, in the beginning, you save the princess, and you're like, that's the beginning of the game, you save the princess. And Final Fantasy 4, you know how that game starts? You complain to the king that you're doing something wrong, and he says to you, you know what, just go to this bomb, just go to the city and deliver this bomb ring so you can get rid of the enemies there. That's how the game starts. And ultimately, like, it just starts to unfold and unfold and unfold, and you love everything that's going on. Like, they say there is one thing that's in the story that they just threw in there, like they added a ninja in there, but I thought it was funny. I thought it was unique. It was kind of an afterthought, I guess, on one of the designers, maybe Hironobu Sakaguchi or something like that, put him in there, because, you know, they wanted the ninja, because they have different class systems. They have like a bard, they have like a sage, white mage, black mage, a summoner, a dragoon. I'm like naming all of them. but the characters and their classes alone add a great amount of depth and strategy to beating the bosses. And the thing is, they only have a front and a back row, and if you're in the back row and if you're a fighter, you're not going to do as much damage as if you're in the front row. But sometimes you want them in the back row so you can do spells, or if you want them to be support. It can happen in this game. A lot of people say in Final Fantasy 3 and Final Fantasy 5, you have to, like, because in those games there's more class-based systems that gosh, I'm sorry, I'm burping. That you have to be a white mage and you have to stay in the back to be a support, or you have to be a black mage to, you know, be offensive. In this game, I mean, obviously black mages can't be support, not entirely, but they can be in some way. Like if you want to do electricity to this enemy but you don't want to kill them, for like some reason, if you're trying to farm them, because there are some like little glitches and little tricks that you can do to the game. As well as in Final Fantasy IV, there are some items in the game, like I read the strategy guide, and what's funny is that when I first played Final Fantasy IV, I did not have a strategy guide, and then I got the strategy guide, and I realized that strategy guide was non-spoiler free that I got. So it just basically said, oh, these are the items that you probably want to get to make the game easier, and I'm like, nah. And then when I came back to playing the game after a year, because I did not play that game for a whole year, I'm like, yeah, you know what? These items are really, really worth it, you know? They make the game so much easier, and the thing is, by the time you get up to that point, you're probably already over-leveled. And some people say the game's easier, like it's really easy to beat, but that's also a good thing. Like it can be bad, like if depending on the type of game you're on, but for me that's a good thing because it just showed how much appreciation went into the side quests and the I guess the drop system. Like the drop system is very bad in that game, but it made me want to play the game more and more and more, and hope and hope and hope. And this game is still worth picking up. But that's my opinion. That's my number one because I had so much fun. I actually beat it, and I've had this game for like 5 years. It took me 5 years to beat this game, just like Red Dead Redemption. I believe I finished Red Dead Redemption 2 years ago, 2015, and the game came out 2010. It took me 5 years to beat that game. 5 years. And this game took me another 5 years. It's something about those 5 years, I guess. Like it took me 5 years to beat, I forgot what PS2 game. And I love that game too. That became one of my favorite games. Crap, I even have it in my stuff. I have to look for it. It took me 5 years to beat those games, and I fell in love with them. Red Dead Redemption especially. If Red Dead Redemption, it would definitely, I think Red Dead Redemption would be my number one game, and Final Fantasy 2 would be my number 2 game if I beat Red Dead Redemption in 2016. But because I didn't, Final Fantasy 4 is my number one favorite game in 2016. The bosses are great. The story's great. The lore, that's another thing I just can't express enough. In a Final Fantasy game, in one game alone, back in 91, added all of the lore in the game. It's not like The Legend of Zelda, like the first one, where the background is in the strategy guide, or not the strategy guide, but the little manual, not the big manual, I'm sorry, the big manual they give you, the story's in there. And in Final Fantasy IV, there is a little thing in the, what is it called, the booklet that you get, but it's not much. It's really not much. The whole lore is in that game, and it did not need a sequel. Granted, it has a sequel, but it did not need a sequel, and I feel that the sequel, I guess, I don't know if it's fan fiction or not. I don't know if it's bad fan fiction, because that game alone can hold on its own. It's not like these other games that need some kind of sequel to make them better, or a sequel to add some more to the lore. Those games in general, like Warframe, like keep adding lore and keep adding lore when there's lore. That's good. games like that these days should add more to the lore. But because Final Fantasy, I'm still blown away. This game came out in 91 and it has all the lore and it makes sense. All these kingdoms and all these characters and all these people, it just makes sense. I cannot praise this game enough. I would say go out and buy it like GTA, like yeah, go buy GTA, but like it's kind of, it makes me feel weird for me to tell you to go buy like a game that's like 20 almost 26 years old. It feels kind of weird for me to say buy this game that's almost 26 years old, but I mean it is something that you can buy. Like you can buy the PlayStation version, you can play it on your PS3. I think it's available on PSN. I know it's available on Steam. It's available on phone, DS, GBA, and the SNES, but I prefer to stay away from the SNES only because of what a lot of people say, and I agree with them. The game is really easy. They hand everything to you. So don't buy the SNES, but if you want to play the SNES because you're a casual, like really casual gamer, just play it. But Final Fantasy IV, that was a surprise, wasn't it? Yeah, 2016, and I'm playing like a at the time a 25-year-old game. 25 years old, and it still holds up, at least to me. So in this video, I explained the games I should have bought in 2016, which is in the beginning of this video. The top 10 games, which I've just finished explaining, as well as my honorable mentions. I'm sorry if, you know, like you came late to the video, but I said like every game on my list were games that did not come out in 2016. Like, and by when I mean come out, I mean originally come out in 2016, not like a remaster like the Marvel Ultimate Alliance and whatnot. Like these games actually came out in the games did not come out in 2016, and the reason is because, going back to what I said, my New Year's resolution was to play the older games that I had, because I have so many of them. And that's another thing about us being, I don't want to say gamers, but I want to say people that play video games, because I don't see myself as a gamer. I see more myself as like a you know, like very, very casual, like come here to relax kind of person. And I collected so many video games that I haven't even played, haven't finished, haven't opened, and I wanted to do that in 2016. So, and again, this was inspired by a lot of, I think it was game rank videos. Some people were saying like, oh, my top whatever games of 2016 is only like 2 games, because they only came out in 2016. I can only afford 2 games in 2016, and that person, that really spoke to me, because that's kind of me. Like, I can only buy like a certain amount of games a year, because I don't know if I'll be able to finish them. I don't know if I'll be able to, you know, pick up another one and have the time to. So I do like watching the top 10 games of 2016 of games that actually did come out, like Uncharted 4, Overwatch, and whatnot. I do enjoy watching that, because I'm like, oh, I missed out on all these games. But at the same time, like, I go back and I look at all the games that I have, and I'm like, I have so many good memories with those older games, as well as games that I haven't even opened yet, games I haven't even played. Yeah, I haven't played Chrono Trigger yet, which is embarrassing. But there are so many games that I have that I haven't opened, and 2016 was the year that I wanted to play those older games. And another thing is that another person that inspired me to do this 2016 video of games that I haven't, that, you know, that you played in 2016, was somebody that said, oh, my favorite games of 2016 were games that came out like years ago. Like, for instance, this person first played Red Dead Redemption in 2016, and I thought they were off their rocks. But, and you know, granted, Chrono Trigger, I haven't played that one either, and people were like, you're off your rocks, you know. But they haven't played Red Dead Redemption until 2016, and I'm like, you know what? And he also put on that list Mass Effect 2. He hasn't played, because I think he was on Xbox One player that was doing the backwards compatibility. So he played Mass Effect 2, and he played Red Dead Redemption for the first time, and he said that those were his favorite games of 2016. He only said those 2 games, but it inspired me. I'm like, you know what? As a person that plays video games, sometimes the best games of the year are the games that come out years prior. And and Game Informer, the editor-in-chief, Andrew Reiner, I believe, his favorite game every single year is World of Warcraft. But granted, World of Warcraft has been around, and it's still a game that's still around in 2016, 2017. But that kind of spoke to me too. I'm like, this guy's favorite game is a game that originally came out in 2000 or 2001 or 2002. And I'm like, yeah, you know, but I wanted to change it up a little bit than Andrew Reiner, but he was also an inspiration for doing this too. But I wanted to talk about games that I played, and Andrew Reiner did play that game, you know, World of Warcraft. So I mean, like, it's kind of it kind of makes sense, and kind of it kind of goes off what I'm saying. So I owed it to myself as a person that, you know, is busy to play and dwell into other games, you know, other games that I haven't opened. And I do not regret any moment of it. You can, you know, say like, oh yeah, this is not a whatever top list of games that came out last year, but you're kind of right and you're kind of wrong. I mean, it may not be new in the year, but it's new to you, and it's new to some people, like the person that played Red Dead Redemption and Mass Effect 2. I mean, like, I gotta hand it to those people. They had, I'm not gonna say they had guts, but they had a lot of heart when they said those things too. And making this list, I had some heart to it too, because games are supposed to be timeless, and games are supposed to be, you know, you go from a year and year and year, and you're like, yeah, you know what? I would like to play that game again. I want to play that game again. And you go back to playing it again. Like, I sometimes watch like videos on like the GTA soundtrack and like the Halo soundtrack and stuff like that, and people are like, oh, who still plays this game? And you know, like, he has like so many thumbs up, and people are like, yeah, me too, me too, me too. I can be those people too. And then people even said one of those videos, like, yeah, that was my favorite game, you know, that is my favorite game. And I'm like, yeah, you know, Final Fantasy IV is my favorite game too, 2016. It's going to be different, of course, in this coming year. In fact, the only game I can really say that I've really dwelled into playing this year is this game, Marvel Ultimate Alliance 2 HD Remaster. It's a remaster. I would say that this is I have to by default say that this is my favorite game of 2017, and that's not saying anything good, because I've been very mixed on this game. But it's definitely not a bad game. So to close off on this of last year's games, last year I told my girlfriend this I don't know how many times, but like 2016, everyone's saying like 2016 was a great year for games. But I would argue that years prior were the best years of gaming in retrospect. You look at 2004 and 2005, I don't know, whatever years, 2006, 2007, like GTA Vice City came out 2002, Final Fantasy X came out 2001, whatever. When I was a kid, if I even got one of those games in those years that came out, that would be my favorite game of gaming, because I dwelled so many hours into it. It doesn't matter universally, it just matters personally. And this is a personal list, as well as the people on YouTube, you know, as well as some channels like Game Ranks and magazines like Game Informer, Gamertron Show. Definitely check these people out. I mean, on YouTube, because they're people that play games of the year that they actually publish, but they also have some heart in saying that, you know, sometimes your favorite games are not games that came out in the year, but games that you've tried that were new. And I'm sorry to disappoint people that, you know, that were looking to this as a way of like saying like, yeah, Titanfall 2 is my favorite game of the year, Dishonored 2 is your favorite game of the year. It can be your favorite game of the year. You know, and then maybe if I helped you in some way, if you know, showing you that, you know what, I played, you know, whatever game, and it came out 3 years ago, and that's my favorite game. I sure hope I somehow inspired you to do that as well. Inspired other people to make different types of Game of the Year videos. Other than that, I sure hope you enjoyed the video. I mean, I finally did 2 levels. I finally did a level on the pro side and a level on the anti side. Granted, there was a lot of talking, and I had to stop talking for the cutscenes and whatnot, but I finally got my point across. I finally got my list down. Definitely thank you for... I wouldn't say definitely thank you for watching, because I think the reason you kind of came to this... I mean, if you wanted to see Marvel Ultimate Alliance 2, I mean, I'm not gonna bag you on that. But if you wanted to watch this just to watch it, thank you for watching. And if you watch this to listen, thank you very much for listening. It's great to get my point across on some of these on topics like these. And a special thank you to my girlfriend as well for being the biggest inspiration for me to do this video. She didn't say flat out like, oh yes, do a video on your favorite games, but she said this thing that I think that spoke to me and wanted it to be one of my New Year's resolutions was to play those damn old games that you freaking have. Open them, play them, whatever. Big special thanks to you. Big special thanks. I very much appreciate you being with me throughout all this turmoil and all this video game ranting and stuff that I always do when I talk to you. But I feel like it's paid off in the end. Like, I finally ranted and I finally got to speak about all these games. I finally got to talk about it, so I hope you're happy. You'll probably hear less of it when you see me, because I finally got to talk about it. No, but she deserves the most credit. Those people were inspirations, but the most inspirational is the person that actually, says to you multiple times, just do it. Don't worry about, this and that. Just do it. She was with me the whole time, and I love you. Thank you very much for making me do 2016 in a new, different way, in terms of video games, I should say. Thank you everyone for watching and listening. The next video I do, I'm not sure what I wanted to do. It was actually a surprise. I didn't know if I wanted to do a 2016 list of my favorite games at first, and I don't know if I was going to be trembling and whatnot. But the next time I play this game, I'm going to go over the 3rd mission for the pro side and the anti side, and I'll be sure to do all of the what is it called again? The challenges for all the characters. Also collect the last collectible, because I missed an audio log. I'm sorry about that. I missed the audio log, but you know where it is, at least for the anti side, which is the side that I'm on right now. Be sure to collect that anti-log before destroying the anti-aircraft. But yeah, thank you very much. I'll see you on the next stream. I'm not sure when I'll stream next, but hopefully soon.